I just broke my ankle. So that's what this is about. And it's not even an interesting story. I just stepped in a hole in the woods. So this is not a great story. But I have a little essay to read to you tonight. Although anything that I might possibly have to say pales before the accomplishments of everybody here. Everybody we just heard from and learned about. And I'm just real proud to be here. This is named, and this is just my feelings about Caramel. All right, this is named The Working Man. And I think as I go on, you will see my relationship to this program through our son, Joshua C., who was here some years back. Not that many years back. Though my beloved son, Josh C., died almost 3 years ago, I'm not here tonight to mourn him, but to celebrate his remarkable life, a life made possible in large part by Caramel. The exact cause of Josh's death was a heart attack, the collapse of an enlarged heart in his sleep. Josh was 34. For half his life, he had battled a brain disorder, which first struck at 17, while he was in Boston for a summer program at the Berklee College of Music. That's when the hospitalizations began. First, a lengthy stay at Holly Hill in Raleigh, followed by several short, heartbreaking tries at normalcy, life back home with us, stints at Chapel Hill High, then off to long-term care at Highland Hospital in Asheville, where he lived for 4 years, sometimes in the hospital itself, sometimes in a special dormitory on the grounds, sometimes in an apartment with participation in the day program. For a while he was better, then not, then really not. We brought him back to UNC Neurosciences Hospital, or South Wing, as we all called it then, where several doctors told us that Josh was so ill that he would never, ever live outside a hospital again, and sent him over to Dorothea Dix. But there, Josh's luck changed. Once he got to Dix, they put him into their test program for the brand new wonder drug, as it was called then, clozapine, which had just been legalized in this country. So that was 1988. And up on that beautiful windy hill overlooking the city of Raleigh, Josh started getting truly better for the first time in years. Suddenly, he participated in real conversations. Suddenly, he could make a joke. It was literally a miracle. The doctor said he could go home soon, but to our surprise, Josh didn't want to. He loved the hospital, where he had made some friends and where he played jazz every afternoon on the upright piano they had brought into the day room for him. When we attempted to take him off the hospital grounds for dinner at a restaurant or maybe a short visit back home to Chapel Hill, he'd often say, well, let's go on back now, when we were only halfway to our destination. It was a shock for us to realize that Josh had come to identify himself completely as a patient, and only as a patient, pure and simple. And he wanted to remain a patient. He was comfortable there. The last thing he wanted to do was to come home. But the doctors at Dorothea Dix were determined to kick him out, and fast. So we had to figure out something. In desperation, we met with social workers and looked at whatever programs had been available in the community. And we are very lucky in this community, I might add, to have any at all. So many communities really don't. We looked at Club Nova, which was is wonderful and was just getting started. And at Caramore, which we had never heard of, although we lived in Chapel Hill for years, and at several day programs. And then suddenly my father, my daddy, who was visiting us at the time, weighed in heavily on this subject. Listen, he said, a boy's got to be trained for something. A man's got to have a job. Of course, this would be the advice from my dad, a mountain man who worked every day of his life from the age of 11, who would go on from then to run his dime store until the age of 85, when he dropped dead in the middle of his work. After about a month, some significant changes began to occur. Maybe it was the early wake-up hour or the rigorous, physically demanding schedule. But Josh began to seem a lot more alert, a lot more animated, even lots more coordinated. He began to make friends at the group home, other clients and staff alike, friends who would actually last for the entire rest of his life.